There we go. Hey, Davey.
What's that, Bear? My head's so big.
I know you're sitting up so high today.
Oh,
it's,
man,
it's all good, man.
can I shrink myself?
Here, I
This is
can
the
shrink
first.
you.
This is the first time I've ever been taller than you, Barry.
Just stick with it. It feels good, doesn't it?
Well, I'm looking. I can see your bald spots now. Oh, you're not. You're wearing a
Perfect.
hat.
Perfect. Yeah, well, I like to hide it.
Nice. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Nice. Is your computer speakers still on?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll let
What?
anybody that watching knows that it sounds good. There we go.
Cool.
So, so electric car talk today, I guess, right?
Let's talk electric.
We're a little bit disheveled today. Everybody who's out there in Facebook land and YouTube land, we started a little earlier. We weren't 100% ready to go, but we're committed. We made the commitment, so we went. We're doing it. So notice my car guy shirt, stupidaboutcars.com, little logo. Oh, you didn't have little hat to go with it there. Little Stupid About Cars hat, expert advice. It's 2016. That was pretty awesome. If you go to stupidaboutcars.com, you can go ahead and get yourself a shirt, which is pretty awesome.
It is awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
I like the design. Can you stand up and let us see the shirt a bit? Can we see it? Just car guy on it.
Car guy.
Nice.
Like a regular guy, only much cooler.
Way cooler.
Way much more cooler.
I know a lot of car guys. Holy.
Yeah, no doubt. You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
I guess car guys kind of migrate to car guys, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
I figure so.
Check our feed out here, and make sure all is good. So, anything new and exciting with you?
Not much. Just busy.
Yeah. Good.
We just heard in BC here that they're gonna open us up on June 15th as long as nothing happens. So that's good news.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. Awesome.
Yeah, no, we're excited. We haven't seen our brother-in-law and sister in a long time.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I haven't seen family in forever. Right? These weird times we're in.
That's what you got to do, though.
Yeah, you guys are opening up, and they just told us that we're going to be no school this year.
No school.
School is done.
School's out for the summer or for the spring.
Yeah. Hey, I guess the kids might be kind of happy about
No
that.
doubt. Like our kids got it good right now.
Yeah.
Right? But we're gonna get through this, and life's gonna go back to normal.
I think it will.
Talking about EVs.
Yeah, no doubt. The wonderful world of EVs, eh?
That sounds like the future, Bear.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm close. I mean, you've got a plug-in hybrid, whatever, right?
Mine's not a plug-in.
No, it's not a plug-in. It's just a hybrid.
No, yeah.
Hybrids make sense, and the plug-ins make sense, but the technology of the batteries is still the biggest problem.
That's always been their problem. Like if you
I did a lot of research and a lot of homework, and we see my brother Roger just joined us. He's on listening in, watching on the Facebook.
Roger.
It's I looked at a lot about like hydrogen cars and the advantages and disadvantages. I know you were pretty keen on the hydrogen thing. I see a lot of downfalls with it, and I don't think it's ever going to take off. I kind of wish it would. I think there's two big downsides. One, there's been a couple of hydrogen fueling stations that have blown up.
That's the thing but I like hydrogen, but in a different way. I like it when you convert water into hydrogen as you need it in the engine. That's safe.
Yeah. That's safe as an additive, because then you still need power
But if
But
you
right,
can convert it at a fast enough rate as the engine needs it,
and they're getting there. The best methods right now are about 75% efficient, which isn't enough.
yeah.
They're working on a new one. I made some notes here, and it's supposed to be up to 86% efficiency with proton exchange membranes. So there's a plus coming. As far as purely hydrogen vehicles, like in the States right now, there's well over 20,000 electric charging stations. How many hydrogen fueling stations do you think there are?
0.
Well, there's 45. 45 in the entire country.
Bulk, like
Yeah.
at a district or something.
But
hydrogen.
1 kilogram of hydrogen stores 236 times more energy than a kilogram of lithium-ion batteries. So it is absolutely a thing, without a doubt.
And like when I told, like, and every motor can run on them. You can run them on diesel. You can run them on LNG. Like you can run hydrogen will burn in anything.
No, it's definitely very cool.
They need to look at it, but they won't. They won't.
No, I think it's just biggest problem right now. You still have to have it as an accessory in your current car. You need to have a gas motor. You need to develop the power in order to be able to get the oxygen and the hydrogen out. Well, no, it's great, but it lacks some sense of efficiency, sort of thing. So
if you think like D-Day, right? Like you could go and buy yourself some solar panels, right? Have the battery and then have the gas when you run out. You can do like.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think both is especially where we live in Canada. That's got to be an option for a long time, because full electric is tough.
Full electric stuff. The biggest problem with hydrogen is that I don't think you'll be able to stop having it as an add-on to your vehicle, like a booster, a power booster or something. That the companies are going to want to make hydrogen-powered vehicles, and there are. I mean, Toyota's got them. There are companies that have these.
Yeah.
Except 95% of hydrogen comes from a byproduct of natural gas, which is done by fracking. You know all the issues globally
and coal.
with fracking.
They make hydrogen with coal,
and
right?
coal. But with the fracking, methane is released, and methane leaks is 86 times worse for the ozone and all that jibbery, floaty stuff up there than CO2.
Hydrogen's only good if you get it from water. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's because it's
and there's tons of it
at that point.
Tons of it. So maybe we'll.
But do you think they're ever going to let you be able to pull up to a lake and grab a scoop and pour it into your car? There's no way they're going to let you do that because they can't regulate it.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
One
day.
Yeah.
Well, like Back to the Future.
Yep.
That's Mr.
Garbage.
Fusion, right? There's everything, organics. Just toss it in and away you go. Which is not far off from what we have now if you look at biodiesels.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, sort of, technically, not really technically, but technically not technically.
I haven't done a ton of research on the biodiesels. I heard for bang for buck, it's tough. Like you got to have a lot. You got to have a lot to make fuel. Like it's not like on the scope of it.
I think you can do it. I know of people that do it themselves, and you can do it yourself. And again, back into methane or methane, however you want to say it, depending on what side of the world you're from. But it's pretty easy to make. I mean, you can make it in your garage.
It's just too thick, right? Anything of the newer diesels with electric pumps, you're not pumping that stuff through electric pumps without heating it up.
True.
And then if you're up north, if it's cold, that stuff is gel, man.
Yeah,
you need, it works. It's definitely like it's amazing what we can make energy out of.
Yep, no doubt.
Our issue is we can't store it like efficiently.
Yeah, batteries.
And then charge.
There are some new
Achilles heel of the electric car. I mean, gas motors went twice as far. And at the time, gas was nothing. It was cheap to buy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and electricity wasn't.
And we didn't know anything about the environment.
Well, I love people that think that, once that we go full electric, that our electric bill at our house is not going to go up, and just electricity in general is going to go through the roof. It's going to be no difference than, And they'll be taxing the electricity, like for greenhouse gases and all that stuff. They won't be able to collect like any kind of environment tax off selling gas, so they're going to put that on the electricity. So
The
we're going to be paying triple.
road use tax. I mean, they're gonna, if you have an
It's
electric,
all
it's
gonna
gonna
go
become
on
a
your
a questionnaire when you sign up for hydro. Do you have an electric car? Bing, there goes your rates.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, because electric cars right now contribute nothing to the road use and road tax that goes out of fuel tax.
And it's crazy that I guess we depend we're going to depend so much on electricity. Our whole infrastructures are going to be based on that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, there are some new battery techs that are coming out. There's zinc manganese oxide batteries, which is more suited towards like large scale storage. There's nanobolt lithium tungsten batteries, which is pretty cool, and it can actually be used in the current manufacturing of lithium batteries. They can just replace it with these nanobolt things, and that's
all
supposed
good
to be
for the environment.
Supposed to be a little bit better. Nothing perfect yet. There's the coolest one I saw is this thing called Tank 2 String Cell. And I just like it. It's like Big Bang Theory. Like, it just sounds really high tech. It's string cells. It's like
Sounds
string
cool
theory.
to say.
Well, but it's these little tiny balls that hold the energy. And when you pull into a refueling stop, this is where it gets really, really, really cool. And I definitely need to dig into some more research on this. When you pull into a refueling stop, you put the hose in, it sucks out your old balls, and charges it up with new balls. It gives you balls.
Who do you think invented that?
Away you go. So it's like gas, but it's little tiny balls of electricity.
Of energy.
Balls of energy. Great balls of energy. That's
Wow.
it's something else, man. I think that technology from my research was the absolutely most coolest thing that I saw.
That is
by
for
far,
sure.
hands down. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Man, the person who ever invented that, let's make little balls of energy.
Little balls of energy. It just completely makes logical sense.
So
That's
but do you think those balls of energy are not explosive like hydrogen? Like anything?
No, apparently they're not.
Really?
Yeah, apparently they're
you
super
would
safe.
swallow one and poop it out.
Yep.
That's a good.
Well, I didn't see that in the article. Don't quote me, but it's close to that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think any of these new technologies, one of the biggest ones is about safety, because there is still the danger of spontaneous combustion with lithium batteries. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a real thing. We've seen it. You've seen it on the news. You've heard stories about it. It's definitely a thing. But so maybe it'd be a little bit better. Everything that they're designing should be just a little bit better. And
that's the
we have more people chatting with us now. Nice. Josh Addison, who is out on the Sunshine Coast, said there's been good progress in scaling up solid-state lithium-ion batteries. Yeah, absolutely, that's true, Josh. And Toyota has actually been designing a new solid-state battery. I'm not sure lithium or what it is, but it provides more than 300 miles of range. It'll charge up completely in 10 minutes. Oh, there you go. I forgot to put up this little message there. There you go, Josh. And Princess Kira. Looks like she's
Josh
holding on to a
Facebook.
giant ice cream cone.
A Facebook.
But and it's got no heating, cooling system, maintains 80% of its charge for 800 cycles, so that's 240,000 miles. And it isn't prone to spontaneous combustion. So it's a solid state battery, and it is a new thing, and it's coming along. And Toyota's on it. I was reading somewhere like 12 million yen the Japanese government is given to, I think, Toyota and Nissan to develop better battery technology, which is amazing.
There's also the weight, right? Like those batteries are heavy, and like batteries that can go long distance. Like there's a lot of things they got to work out before they make that electric car replace the combustion engine. Like
a lot of things.
You imagine what a big truck would be.
Speaking of biodiesel, there. Sorry, Dave. Roger Lawrence is asking, would biodiesel made at home run into the same legal issues as making corn fuel? You'd have to wonder eventually.
Explosive though, right?
Corn fuel is highly flammable.
Yeah, where diesels It's not.
I mean, if I'm not
you know,
mistaken, corn fuel, we're talking basically like E85 ethanol sort of thing. You know, I mean, that's race gas.
that stuff.
That's good stuff. That's
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah. I don't know. That could end up being a thing, without a doubt. And I think we've frozen. I don't even know. Dave is frozen, or I'm frozen. Technical issues, folks. Bear with us. Trying to check out and make sure everything's still going here, because it seems to have died, and I might be here talking to myself, or the whole stream has gone offline. Anybody out there? And Roger, Josh, somebody watching? Is this still working, or did we die? The home still. Okay, there you go. I think we just lost Dave there for a minute, and maybe Dave will be back to join us. But yeah, that nano 2-string cell. I can't even say it. That's some pretty awesome stuff. And I'm sure Dave will get back to join us. Josh is saying they definitely need to be regulation on homebrew biodiesels. Yeah, you know what? I mean, because I know that is a process that you boil, you heat it, and you mix it with methane or methane. I don't know. That's kind of dangerous stuff. So you're right. I think that probably will end up needing a little bit of regulation of some sort. But we'll end up. We'll see. What else do we got here? Well, Davey's still AWOL. Maybe his internet died. You do a show coast to coast, but obviously not with perfect internet. I was curious, and I think we spoke on the last show really briefly about the residual values of electric cars, and so I dug in and did a little bit of homework. 3 years. The average loss of 3 years. Josh is saying that he's a firefighter, and or almost firefighter, or yeah, you're a firefighter now. You put out a fire the other day in a car, right? He said he'd hate to respond to a fire call and have 200 plus gallons sitting in the garage. Yes, that might be a little bit of a problem. That might just be a problem. Residual values. So, I think we're getting Dave. My brother Dave is coming back in to join us here, and get him to join in. And hang on a second. Sign. Dave 1. Publish. Davey.
Hey, Bear, I'm back.
Hey, I didn't know if we died or you died or who died.
Did you stay on? Did you stay live?
Yeah, I stayed on. I asked the listeners to chime in, and they said that they're still there. Davey froze.
Yeah, I think I don't know what happened there. You know me and computers, Bear.
Poop happens. Happens. Yep.
It's true.
But you know what? Just like magic, guess what?
I'm back.
Bazinga!
Zinga, we're back.
Bazinga.
So we were talking a little bit, and I started talking about residual cars, and we said on the last show I'm going to look into a little bit of what residual values are in electric cars.
Yeah.
So the industry average hovers around 50% after 3 years for a lightly used vehicle. So something that wasn't beaten up, that's in good condition. 50% is the average. But you're losing a lot more with some stuff. BMW, the i3, 3-year-old price of $21,000. So you're saving $32,000.
I'm pretty surprised actually, because those things with the batteries,
you might have lost your mic.
Back?
There you go. Yeah, that's better.
No, I think everybody's scared of batteries. The cost of batteries, replacing those batteries. I would thought it would have drove it down more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's still quite a 60%. The 50. I'm sorry. The 50 to 50% is the average of electric vehicle depreciation.
Yeah.
Right. Nissan Leaf takes a 60% beating. The Tesla Model S is 36%. The list goes on. So a fair bit of a beating of 3 years.
It's amazing. Tesla's value holds at 36%, right? Like people must have especially compared to a Leaf, which is a car that's been around for a long time, right?
Well,
People must have faith.
Well, there's also a downside of the Tesla. So Teslas are using big batteries, and especially when you're talking about the P100Ds, right?
Yeah.
So environmentally speaking, on average, it's going to take about 8 years for a P100 to become more environmentally responsible and efficient than a gas-powered vehicle.
Huh.
Because of the amount of batteries that they're using.
Definitely.
So the Nissan Leaf is 5 years because it uses a much, much smaller battery. So the environmental impact, the carbon footprint of that smaller battery, it only takes 5 years to get to that level. So it's kind of interesting. So, yeah, they are better for the environment after enough time. Keep the vehicle for long enough, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Roger's asking if we have any knowledge on the city of Paris, who having sidelined their fleet of electric cars because of dead batteries and replacement costs. I did not hear about that. I'll have to look at that. I've spoken other places. A large courier company, as an example, that went out and purchased a whole ton of hybrid vehicles. And currently, they are all stripped out and just gas vehicles now. The cost of maintenance and everything was ridiculous. And then the company that they bought them from ended up closing their doors, so it's completely done anyways. So
we just
kind of sucks.
Vancouver just bought a couple buses, and I think in Victoria they bought a couple electric buses.
The
concept of them would, yeah.
They do make sense especially for something like that. Change the driver, change the bus, sort of thing, and just always have one on charge would be kind of cool. One of my customers is it's a transit thing, and I'm curious to see if they're getting into electric and what their thoughts are behind it.
Well, I'm just curious because you said maintenance, and apparently that's the big that's what they push electric cars for, the maintenance zero on them. So what are they replacing?
That's exactly what I said to this guy. I'm like, I really thought that maintenance was going to be the problem. He says, well, the fact that the company went out of business and they can't get parts and they have to try and figure out to wigwam something together. It's a big thing. But
I mean, what do you think? The buses to me would be on just a regular chassis with a different powertrain, right? Like it would still be air braked. Like the braking system would still be the same.
Yep.
Like what's wearing out? That's crazy that they're going through that much.
Batteries. Well, so Car and Driver magazine. I read an article by Dave Vanderwood, and they're doing long-term tests on a Model 3. One of the things that he was talking about, so far they've got 24,000 miles on it. So Tesla specifies specifically that charging more than 90% shouldn't be done for daily use. Only do that for trips. But it doesn't explicitly say what the long-term ramifications might be. But I've read in it.
Mileage.
I saw in an article somewhere. Tesla somewhere said, don't use superchargers or use them as infrequently as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. So their Model 3 so far has lost 7% of its capacity in the 24,000 miles.
Yeah.
Now, supercharging as well, remember, costs twice as much as charging it at home per kilowatt, generally.
Right? Yeah.
So that equals 2.9% depreciation in capacity every 10,000 miles, which, if it continued at the same rate, I have read, some people said when they're new, they depreciate very quickly, but then the depreciation slows, or the degradation of the battery really slows down. But that'll put them at 65% capacity, 120,000 miles. The warranty is 70% capacity retention, and 8-year, 120,000 mile base battery warranty.
That's on a Tesla.
However, that's Tesla, so that's a pretty good warranty.
Yeah.
However, Tesla makes it clear that in the case of a warranty claim, the car won't necessarily get a new battery, not necessarily won't get a new battery, but one that at least meets the 70% threshold. So you can take it in and have a 68% threshold and get a 70% threshold battery put in. Yay! Yeah.
At no cost.
Yeah.
They got to be able to service those batteries pretty soon too, I would think, right? Like, they got to make them like so they don't have to replace all the cells at once. Like,
I did a lot of research, Dave, and it's funny because everybody talks about things. They have to be able to. Nobody's talking to each other. Tesla's not talking to Nissan. It's not talking to Toyota. Everybody's keeping their own little secret, doing their own thing. And as far as when you get into the mining of the minerals and stuff, every well-written, scientifically factual website that I went through, everybody said collaboration is what's needed. This is not going to work if the companies don't start talking to one another.
That's in everything in life.
And government too.
Life. Yeah, that's life.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't know how to do it. I mean, it's a race because it's money, Barry. Money and politics gets in the way of technology.
It gets in the way of everything. Yeah. Gets in the way of everything. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I see Roger saying that he saw a post from James May regarding his Tesla. It says, due to COVID, he's not been using it, and the secondary/memory battery died and locked him out 100%. He had to contact Tesla, and it took him in excess of an hour to gain access to the secondary battery. And the regular battery does not charge with the main battery bank. No, James May, Top Gear, Grand Tour, the biggest.
A lot of cars.
They are the everything of the car world as far as, infotainment or anything. If James May called my electric car company, I'm going to make sure it gets done quick. So if it took him an hour, what's it going to take you, when you're stuck out in the freezing cold? That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it was not like the operator would know it was him, though. Like, his clout doesn't make a big difference there, I would think.
Maybe. I don't know. I like to think everybody knows James May. Captain Slow.
Well,
maybe that's why. That's why it took an hour, because they knew it's Captain Slow, so they just went on his time.
Payback, right?
yeah. That's awesome.
It's the technology. It's insane, Barry. I can't wait to talk, and I just can't wait to find out. Like, we have to get over this hump. I feel like we're in the 80s right now. Like, and we're just they have all this.
It is, yeah.
They want to get there. They have all this. Well, they have the technology to know what they do, but they don't know how to get there yet. And it's just like they need to get over that hump. We've got this great idea. We've got this fantastic idea, but we don't know what to do with it yet. Yeah. That's sort of kind of a thing. You just don't know how to make. Well, and there's so much to it. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
Oh. It's like Blockbuster Video. Like, somebody's got to lose when technology comes around, right? Like.
Yep. True. That's true.
And those people don't want to let go.
I can't tell you how much you don't appreciate water.
Oh, I love water.
You know what? And when I was in BC, down in Langley, we were on a well. And we were advised not to drink the water because it's possible arsenic or something in it. And so we had to get bottled water and stuff. And even the bottled water, Kirkland, whatever, Nestle's. So now we have good Nova Scotian water. Yes. Not only that, we hooked the fridge up. It's got the ice maker and the filter, the cold water. It's got no taste. It's got no. Don't realize how much you appreciate it. Think of those that don't have it.
For sure.
Oh.
Well, we are blessed with water in Canada. That's for sure.
That's the one thing we are blessed with.
We are surrounded by it. Yeah, it's we have a lot of water in Canada, especially where we are.
Yeah,
But I
no
don't know.
doubt.
You must be sitting in the sun though. You look so dark. Usually I'm the dark one.
I spent a good portion of the weekend working outside, and no, I definitely got some sun this weekend.
I look like
maybe a little bit of
COVID
little bit of
lockdown.
burnt on the top of my head, but
I look like I haven't been out of my house in a year and a half.
there's a Tesla YouTube home mechanic, and apparently, possibly Michigan is the only state Tesla must provide assistance for home or backyard mechanics. It was a law that the state passed, apparently.
Huh?
Yeah, that's
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. I got some questions for you, Barry.
Uh-oh.
I got some EV questions. Let's see how much research you've done.
Is this a Barry versus the world moment?
It could be. Whoever's listening, you guys can chime in too and guess.
That's right, baby. You know what time it is. It's time for Barry versus the world. Oh, yeah.
Boom. I love that tune. It's so
That's
good.
getting funky.
Funky.
That's right,
So,
baby.
Barry-
Do I have to answer all the questions live list?
Yes, you do. That's part of the questionnaire. That's your EV
All right.
voice.
So I will say, anybody out there in La Interweeb land, if you think you have the answer, chime in.
Chime in.
You
Chime
can
in.
win a hug from Dave. All right, let's have it.
All right. Okay. So what what country do you think has the most EVs on the road?
I'm going to wait a second.
Don't Google it, Barry. No,
Nope,
you can
I'm not.
Google it. Hands above.
Seeing if anybody else
Hand-
has the answer. I know there's a little bit of a lag with this, so maybe people trying to type in might not.
Do you want me-
We're about 30 seconds behind. But
Do you want me to give
it's
you
all
four
good.
options, Bear?
Give me four options,
options.
as long as one of them is China.
Okay. China,
Okay.
Norway,
Okay.
Germany,
Okay.
India.
Hey, India is a good one. That they might have almost as many as China.
Do you think China's the one?
I do.
It's Norway.
Is it really? They have more? How many do they have?
Percentage-wise, I think it all goes by percentage to.
Percentage-wise, okay.
So on
Then definitely
compared-
Norway.
on the road, like compared
Yeah.
to gas combustibles, right?
Okay.
Canada has 3.52% of the vehicles on the road are electric in Canada, and that's up double compared to
Yep.
last year. What do you think what's the province that has the most amount of EVs on the road in Canada?
BC.
BC, and then what?
Yeah, could be Quebec.
Quebec, yep.
Yeah.
And then obviously, where are you
Okay.
from? Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
I mean, those are the most populated areas too, right?
Yeah, that's an obvious.
But you know, it was like one of the countries that stuck out was Iceland. Like that was the second. Like it went Norway, then Iceland.
And
And-
Roger making a comment, he's quite surprised. He thought maybe France or Italy. And
Yeah.
he says, wow, Norway with the win, even with all the cold weather. And then you just said Iceland. I'm like, oh, yeah, there you go.
And Sweden, I don't know. Maybe they're ahead of the game there. They are. I don't know. Sounds like they are.
Could be. I think there could be a thing, too, with the amount of vehicles that people have anyways. Like in
It's definitely that.
Norway,
right.
don't they ride a lot of bicycles and walk and stuff
So
like that?
It's a percentage, right? So
Oh, yeah.
you know, for population density and stuff too. So you could. I bet you, if the thing was who has the most amount of EVs, would probably China's got to be the one.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
But percentage per vehicle was this one?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
You want another one?
Sure.
I got a good one. So
17.
what?
17.
No. So what was the first manufactured EV? And what year was this? Let's just do what year.
Like-
The first time they've actually tried to manufacture an EV, electric.
I don't even think I could get the decade. I'm going to say
I'll give you someone. I'll give you some answers.
1898.
No. That's one of them. Okay, I'll give you 3 more options.
Okay.
1963. That's a good year. 1984 or 1996.
Well, 84, but it was in the 1890s or
No, the first time they
1900s.
manufactured, like the first time they
were.
sold them, like
They were.
manufactured
They
and
were.
sold.
They were.
They were kind of not like in like manufactured as I mean like in a production
Mass
line.
produced production line. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Josh Taddison is saying 1890. Roger Lawrence is saying 1920s. I'm going to go with mass produced in the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, it was 96 actually with the
96.
EV, the EV1, the GM's one. It was the first mass produced. I mean, you're talking 1890. They weren't mass producing anything in 1890.
Well, I mean, the assembly line. I mean, they were mass producing on the scale that they needed.
The assembly line didn't come to Ford, right? Like the assembly line didn't come.
Well, that's why I'm saying. If we go with assembly line practices, for sure. But there was
Manufactured.
also in the 80s, there was that weird wedge-shaped thing.
Yeah.
It was a car. It was not. It was a production vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it was called. It looked like a wedge.
I think is it not the EV1? The EV1 looked like the wedge.
No, this was like a weird Polish thing or something.
They made 1,000 of them, eh? Those EV1s. Like that's.
Oh, really?
And you
How
would
many
think
are
that, yeah.
How many are still on the road?
I think they burnt them as many as they could. They bought them all back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do electric cars weigh more or less than a combustible car with a combustible engine in it?
More.
More. That's an easy one. It's a lot
Yeah.
more though. Like
It
it's
is a-
quite a bit more.
Yeah. No, the batteries
take
are
for-
heavy.
They are. Like it's crazy.
And that's why the performance numbers out of these vehicles is so astonishing because of their weight. It's a
Definitely.
big factor. You'd think like tiny little lightweight. No.
Well, if you put the weight in the right place, you can make that car handle pretty good, right?
Yeah, do that. Well, it is. It's all right down at the bottom. Like it's super low center of gravity. Handling's awesome.
It's pretty wicked.
Jay Leno owns a electric vehicle made in the 20s.
Yeah. I guess essentially electric vehicles. Once they got the battery up, again they waited on the battery with these motors. Like once they got the lead acid battery, then they could actually make a battery they could go. But their distances were so small with the electric vehicles. Like
Yeah, but even
20
back then, how
miles.
far were you? You weren't going that far in a vehicle anyways.
Well, you
and the
think you-
efficiency of the engines, I mean, you weren't going more than
Yeah.
20 miles anyways, right? You weren't doing no
Yeah.
cross-country trips and chitty chitty bang bang, you know. Well, maybe chitty
Yeah.
chitty bang. That flew, didn't it? Wasn't chitty chitty the one that flew? I'm probably even saying it wrong.
they didn't.
That's
they
my
didn't have-
question for you, Dave.
What's that?
Did chitty
I
chitty
think
bang
I-
bang fly?
I never even saw that movie. Did you see it?
No, probably. Probably my
never
mom
seen
probably
it.
made me watch it, so I secretly hid playing cards under the
Do
blanket.
you know the answer to it though? Did it fly?
I don't. I think it was the chitty chitty bang bang. Yeah.
It's a flying car. Did Herbie ever fly?
Off jumps.
He did. He launched it.
And so did the General Lee. So
Yes.
General Lee wasn't magical.
No, what about the Kit car? Remember Kit from?
Technology. Yes. Yes. Wonderful turbo boost.
Okay, I got another one for you, Barry. What
Ready.
was the most sold model of EV in Canada? In Canada. It starts
In
with a
Canada.
letter.
Starts with a letter. Even numbers start with letters, Dave. Oh, jeez. I say like a
Yeah.
leaf or the Bolt.
No, the Leaf. The Leaf was actually not. It wasn't a great seller. The Leaf
No.
in Canada. No. Last year, 2020, 1,535 Leafs were sold.
Wow.
Well, so we say registered because this is like registered. Yeah, which is not a lot, really, of all of
No,
Canada.
it's not. It's not. Not at all, really. What was
So what-
what was the number one? Not the
Well, you
bolt.
gotta,
Well, you said
you gotta guess
it's,
it.
It's a letter.
you gotta. It's been around the longest. It's been around the longest. People have the most faith in it.
Well, Teslas.
No, they haven't been around the longest. The Prius, the one that started it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Prius,
yeah.
Prius were 6,417 sold in Canada.
And there's a full electric one.
There's a full electric one, yeah.
Oh, I thought they were all hybrids.
Not anymore.
Oh,
Nope.
cool.
It's a plug-in one. And then second was the Model 3, which is obvious to me.
Yeah.
That was 6,151 sold in Canada.
Yeah, not a lot.
It's still, I mean, that is a lot. Like, if you think of that, like, just do the math. On 90 grand each, or what are those things worth? Those are 50 grand.
Well, I mean, it is a lot, and it's not a lot. Like, I did a little bit of digging on numbers.
Yeah.
Let me, sorry, just give me 1 second here to pull this on
Okay.
the other screen so I can see what I'm doing while I'm talking.
So they made $307 million and $550,000. If the Model 3 is like an average of 50,000, right?
Yeah.
So they made $300 million just on that one car.
Jeez.
That's to I know. And
See,
then
but you look at those numbers. So, how many Fords were sold in 2020?
I'm not sure.
And this
I'm not
is
sure.
this is a leave North America. Yeah. What rough guess?
I'm not sure. 10,000.
Okay. 1.9 million.
That's insane.
So there was 14 million, almost 15 million cars sold in 2020 in the U.S. Tesla, 292,000.
292,000.
So less than 2%.
Yeah.
Most of these other companies, Acura, Alfa Romeo, Audi, BMW, Buick, Cadillac, Chevy, most of them don't even have an electric vehicle currently. Now, of course, everybody says, oh, by 2030, we want to be, selling all electric vehicles and stuff. Like, it's just not going to happen.
I don't think so.
You know. It was interesting when I was looking up these numbers to see that January total vehicles 1.1 million, February 1.43 million, March down to 944,000, April 563,000, and then the numbers started crawling up again.
Really?
Why?
Summertime?
COVID.
COVID? So they're coming
Yeah.
up, but they were freaking people out.
Right, as soon as March 2020, numbers started going down.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, why did they go down? The only explanation I can think of is the Rona. I think it's definitely the Rona's fault.
It's funny though. I could argue the fact that it's actually, like it's a production issue. They don't have enough to sell right now. Like,
Well,
I
numbers.
think you're right about the COVID. COVID shutting down factories, building cars. Because right now in Toyota,
It's not even sales though, but that was just sales
yeah,
because the numbers
You
are right
can't-
back up. The numbers, May 1.1 million, and the strongest month of all at 1.6 million was December.
but I think that has to do with more on the production side. Is obviously COVID and people with COVID,
It's
but
COVID, yeah.
yeah, they're shutting down factories, building these cars because there has been a huge, like in all the dealerships, and I go to all of them, none of them have product.
Well,
Like,
a
for
lot of it
last
was
3 or
lockdown.
4 months, right? And they
A
just
lot of it
weren't
was
getting
too
anything.
was lockdown. I think the initial sales drop, it was lockdown, and everybody was afraid. I'm not going anywhere. And then a couple of months roll in, everybody's like, what the hell? We can do it. We can do it. You know.
And it's in every industry, like for dirt bikes, even in like lawnmowers. Right now, like, there's like the manufacturing got hit hard by COVID.
Yeah.
But
So
hopefully
yeah,
they'll
those
get
numbers
going.
are all U.S. I forgot that I did. And those numbers were all U.S. I just realized I was looking. So in 2020, Tesla sold 292,902 cars in the U.S. and 9,487 in Canada.
Yeah.
Which is down in Canada, but up in the States. In the U.S., it's going up every year after year after year. In Canada, it was going up every year till 2018. They sold 15,300. 2019, 12,900. And so far as 2021, they're at 5,200.
Wow.
Yeah, numbers are kind of falling down a little bit. I thought there were some interesting numbers to share with the Heelys out there. Rogers made a comment right there about the E1 electric race series and how many finished with live batteries. I was watching a little bit on it the other day, Roger, and I did see the E1 is like F1 but electric cars, and basically they give you the battery. Here's your battery, go. So everybody has the same technology and everything in the battery. And I'm like only 2 failures so far with batteries.
Wow.
It's been pretty good. So I'm not sure. Roger had some other information about that.
That would be the quietest race you'd ever go to. Hey? Like how, like you'd still hear them, right?
Be like the Jetsons. They got to put that sound effect on it.
They're thinking about bringing one to Vancouver. Like we used to have the Molson Indy, right, in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And they're like the downtown of Vancouver is approving this to have this electric EV1
be cool
race.
That'd be pretty cool.
You don't have to worry about the smell of gas. There's a lot. Like it's a different feel. I bet, eh?
You wonder who that's going to appeal to.
I don't know. They're still burning
going
rubber,
to the
though.
race, smelling that fuel and hearing those engines, and
you'd still smell tires. You'd
so
still
much
smell burning tires and I don't know.
Probably it'd be kind of cool, maybe. But
imagine their acceleration in those things, though. Holy smokes!
Sick. I do love the performance numbers of electric vehicles. They're just awesome, absolutely awesome. Oh. Hey, got Jax visiting in to say hi.
Hey, Jax.
Hi, Jax. We're talking about electric cars.
Does Jax want one?
Jack, would you drive an electric car? Well, that's true. He doesn't know how to drive. Maybe one day.
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Hey, Barry, who is the first person to be credited with building the EV? The first EV. I find this amazing. Who was? Do you know who it was? You should know this.
It can't be Elon.
No.
No.
This is old. Like this is an old. Like when I said when the first question was manufactured, it's a different question to who was the first one to build the first EV, right? So this goes actually back a lot of years.
Oh.
They drink it's a guy that drinks a lot of scotch.
Drinks a lot of scotch.
He's part of our lodge. It's Robert Anderson.
Oh, is it? Oh, hey. Bob. Holy. Well, there you go.
But it was a Scotsman named Robert Anderson in 1832. He was the first one to do it.
Hey, we lad took a wee dram.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I was thinking Joe Schimmelpenny, but
he was probably building a golf cart, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not walking all the way over there to get that ball.
That's probably exactly what it is. That's awesome.
But 1832, that's pretty. That's
wow, that's a long time ago. Yeah. Jeez.
And it's almost 200 years ago.
That's crazy.
Right?
Makes me feel old.
Yeah. But the thing is that we have in 200 years, we still haven't produced an EV that'll go very far.
Yeah, no doubt. We still don't have it figured out. They'll get it one day. I'm excited. I don't know that we're going to get there because I think everybody's ambitions are just too high. You know, like so in worldwide in 2018, there was 3.3 million electric vehicles worldwide. Okay, 3.3 worldwide 2018. California is saying that by 2030, California alone will have 3 million EVs.
Yeah, I believe that.
I think they're
The
selling a
government will
dream.
mandate it. The
They're-
government
they're
will mandate it in California. You have to
That's
drive.
Arnold.
They'll
Yeah.
they'll make you pay so much in tax if you drive.
You
EV
must
with
drive. Aye, everybody get EV. Everybody get EV now.
it. You'll do what I say.
That's probably, yeah.
And they'll blame it on the environment. They'll give it the
Whoa.
environment shake.
I think your mic just went ballistic.
Oh yeah.
Back now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think
Scared.
I think he. I think they'll mandate it there. They will, and they'll say it's the environment. And then
Yeah.
they'll let cruise ships pull in and refine oil on the coast of their the whole
Yeah.
western coast, and
Yeah.
it's so funny. I just don't know why. Why do you got to figure out why they want us to go electric? Because it's not. We've proved it's not because of the environment. To a point, it is somewhat better for the environment.
And
but not right at the start. The rate at the start, it's actually worse for the environment to build it.
Yeah. Because I think one of the things is it's an easy sell with the environment.
Yeah, but you still have to produce electricity. So they're going to make us have to produce a lot more. We don't have that many rivers. Are we just going to be turbine after turbine after turbine? Are they going to put up solar panels enough to because they're going to triple the amount of electricity, 10 times the amount of electricity. Yeah.
Solar panels is the answer. If we could get solar panels to the efficiency where you put the solar panels up on the roof,
yeah,
then you can. That's enough to power your car.
They have on a sunny day, solar panel and wind, right? We're just gonna have those in our backyards. Are they gonna legislate that we can't have our own solar panels and wind power?
You cannot use the wind.
No wind for you.
There'll be so many wind turbines that it's disrupting the airflow, and there'll be less wind currents, and the Galapagos turtle will have a dry shell. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter.
And I bet you bikes and workout equipment, they're going to put little things to generate power with those because you're going to need it because it's going to cost so much for electricity.
Well, that was the thing way back in
You'll
the
have
80s.
5 kids riding bikes just to pay for your car to move.
Remember there was an electric bike you could plug in a TV and you pedal and it powers the TV?
Yeah.
It's
going to be all over the place.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There'll be families of 10 people. You got to do an hour on the bike today, son.
And then eventually, you're right, and they'll get to the point where we could make cars, and if we can use natural resources, we'll use rocks for tires, just a big long round rock, and you can put your feet through the floor and push along.
I can picture your feet moving a car, but not mine.
Little Flintstones. And then it comes around, and then you get the Jetsons.
So we need to invent things, Barry, now.
Yeah,
we need to invent things that are going to power our house naturally.
I wish you could go back in time. It'd be so much easier to invent stuff. You need to be like a magician,
so
technologist.
Much easier to invent stuff if you went back in time.
Yeah, man. With what I know now,
Whew.
I could invent the wheel.
With that knowledge, no doubt.
Fire.
Everything. What would you invent though? If you could go back, what would be that one thing that you'd want to be known for? This was on me.
Well, the wheel. I mean,
the wheel.
Yeah.
But nobody's gonna remember the guy that did the wheel. Nobody's is there a guy? Can you Google the guy that made the wheel?
It was BC in Quest for Tires or Quest for something. Little cartoon or video game or something.
That would be yours.
Yeah.
You'd want to be.
I don't know.
Not remembered.
It's funny. Somebody had a post on Facebook about what if you go back in time and tell yourself 3 words.
3 words.
What would those 3 words be? And I was looking at the post, and a lot of people are like, buy Microsoft stock and blah 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 blah. And buy gold and how to get rich, right? And You know, not like find true love. Tell your 16-year-old self something like that, right? But I did a little bit of Googling, and the biggest stock to increase in our generational lifetimes, what do you think?
Snap-on. Snap-on.
No.
Not Snap-on?
Warranty costs are too high. They're still making payments on it.
Come on, but it's worth it, Barry. It's worth it.
It's worth it. WURTH. Monster Energy drink was the biggest gaining stock, over 40,000%.
But doesn't Coca-Cola own Monster?
Monster Energy stock. It's still its own company. It doesn't matter who owns it. It's stock. It's Monster Energy stock. And apparently that is the one to have bought. Better than Microsoft and Apple and everything.
Really?
Yeah. Through my quick internet research, which means I did it on the internet. I'm on a microphone. So I'm
starting to think about my Norway question with who has the most country with the most percentage of EVs per thing. I'm starting to worry about that one.
There's Bill and Frida and Heinrich, right? There's at least 3 of them.
Because it's really misleading, right?
Internet research, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, you can find anything.
Well, and it's how they phrase that research, right? Like, and how they use it. Like, it's not like, obviously, Norway probably doesn't have the most amount of EVs because it doesn't have the population of a place like China.
It could be
per registration.
Per person that owns a vehicle divided by the square root of the house size. Yeah, I don't know. It could be something. It's going to be something. I mean, there's got to be some truth to it. And you said it. You've got a microphone in front of you, and that just makes it pure fact.
It's truth. It's truth, Bear. It's true.
Nobody knew. That is factual.
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 So did we get any more questions about EVs that we can try to confuse people with?
No, I didn't see too many other questions coming in from anybody else.
I think everybody's kind of. I think people want to see them, like you said. I think that
it's an easy sell. EVs are an easy sell. We are killing the planet without a doubt. It's just save the world, buy an EV.
I guarantee you, every person that's interested in buying a car right now is considering looking at an EV. You know, maybe before it was never. Everybody's considering one now.
What I'm waiting for is this pickup truck market. The new Lightning. I think Canada so far is getting screwed a little bit. It's $10,000 more in Canada.
Of course,
different options and stuff, but I mean, it's still a little bit of a dream. I mean, they announce a lot of these things, and it doesn't really happen. I mean, look at the Bronco. When they brought that thing out as a prototype, it was like, oh my God, I want one. When I look at it now, it's like, nice truck.
It's an Explorer with a Bronco frame.
Yeah, So this Lightning looks really, really cool. And
even the Cybertruck they're
talking about. No,
the Cybertruck is not. Horrible. It's not. But it's not even like the one they brought out. Is not even. It's gonna be kind of how it looks like.
Would you even drive that if it was anything like what it looks like?
I think it's wearing on me. It's wearing
horrible.
On me. Oh. It's wearing on me. Regan's gonna buy one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, yeah, Regan. What else he drives, right?
I'll be doing a lift kit on a.
Doing a lift kit on a Tesla. Yeah, that's hilarious. The Rivian. There's some really cool stuff coming down the pipe if it actually happens. I'd wait and see if it does happen, but it's going to be some cool stuff.
It's happening.
Yeah. No, I hope
it's just a matter of time. I mean, essentially, if you go by Back to the Future, we're behind in technology. Like if that movie Back to the Future, when they go back, they go back. Not they go forward in future. But it was Back to the Future 2.
But then, they went back to the future, but we're behind in technology. So do we have to go to the future to get the technology? Or we went back. How many DeLoreans ever existed at one time?
5.
Back to the Future.
5.
Yeah, how do you know that?
I don't know. I just know it. It's in there, Barry.
Wow. Hey, Roger has found us on YouTube.
He did.
Yeah.
How do we look on YouTube, Roger? I look like I.
I guess there's a little bit of a delay. Our few listeners are awesome.
Yes,
God
thank
bless
you for
the
listening
loyalty
in.
of them. Yeah.
Thank you.
We look very nice. Oh, thanks, fella.
Thank you, Raj. I guess it's getting late for Roger.
Yeah,
All the way
no,
over
it's
there in Ontario.
yeah. What, 9 o'clock there? That's, I got a gripe. Eastern Standard Time people, where I come from, but Eastern Standard Time people, you suck. It's not the people that suck, but it's Eastern Time.
You
So
don't like
when
Eastern
I
time?
when I post something for this,
Yes.
you're on one coast, I'm on the other coast.
Yes.
You're in the west, shows at 5 o'clock. I'm in the east, shows at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
Yes.
I'm east of Eastern Time. Why am I not Eastern Time?
You should be Eastern time.
It should be
You should be
Eastern
more-
Time.
You're just more Eastern time.
Much more Easterner timer.
Yes, that's the one.
It's
That's
so
the one.
confusing. My God, this doesn't make any sense. I still don't even know if the Facebook posts and whatever that I made, everybody's like, what time are they doing it? Oh my God, it must be tomorrow.
A good thing that
They will have to go back to the future.
Well, they can because they
Yeah,
can watch
they-
it after.
They could. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think. Would you rather go if you had one choice, back or forward? What would you do?
Yeah, see, Roger's saying Ontario should be Central Time. Yes, Ontario should be Central Time, but Central Time is Central Time. Which Central Time isn't in the center. Central Time is Midwest Time. But we don't call it Midwest unless we're talking about it like it's the Midwest. So if we're talking about it, we call it the Midwest. And the Midwest has Central Time. But yet they're not Central.
That's a lot of time.
Yes, I need a DeLorean. I don't really need a DeLorean. I don't know if I would build my time machine out of a DeLorean. Build it out of something.
You don't think there's some kind of like design thing like that it has to be like that just to get through the time thing?
Well, if we are stupid about cars, and if you know a little bit about cars, and you needed a car to get to 88 mile an hour, DeLorean probably wouldn't be your first choice. Not saying a DeLorean can't hit 88 mile an hour if it's running properly or at all.
What was in a DeLorean for a moment?
Junk, a couple of hamsters, and a block of cheese. Yeah.
It must have moved.
They were decent. Yeah, but they weren't a reliable. We're a very reliable car. Pick something a little bit more reliable. Like a Skoda.
Is that the coolest movie car? Like, is that the the Back to the Future to you? Is that the coolest movie car?
Wow.
No.
If it was real, the James Bond Lotus submarine. That'd be pretty cool. Even just the James Bond DB5. That's smart. DB5.
I Tango and Cash. You remember Tango and Cash, that show?
Yeah.
Do you ever remember the Chevy pickup truck they do up?
Yeah, it was the pickup truck that was pretty cool.
All lifted up.
And
We were looking it up the other day.
Stallone, Stallone had that Cobra, that movie or whatever, Cobra. That thing was pretty sweet. There's been a ton of really amazing movie cars. I don't know what my favorite movie car ever is.
What do you think's the most popular, Herbie?
I mean,
They marketed Herbie a lot.
What's more popular than that?
More popular than Herbie. The Bandit?
Maybe the Bandit might be more popular, but I think General Lee's going to have to take that.
Generally, yeah. But not to everybody, though.
Them good old boys, Dave.
Yeah, but like if
never
you
doing no harm. Raising up a family and working on a farm. That's not
Well, there's some people that don't like the Confederate flag, right?
True that. Well, that could be. That's the car, not the. Yeah.
I know, but so like more. I think Herbie, because people in England aren't going to be like, ooh, the General Lee. They don't care about the General Lee, but Herbie, they do.
Oh, I don't know. I think General Lee went pretty far. Roger says, well, he was commenting on the YouTube comments don't show up on Facebook. The Facebook comments show up on YouTube. It's something I'm trying to figure out. YouTube changed something in their systems, so it is kind of a weird thing. Like if you're watching on Facebook and Roger comments on YouTube, you see that on Facebook. But no, YouTube comments don't show up on Facebook, but if you post on Facebook, the comments show up on YouTube. And I'm trying to get that one sorted out. We'll get it eventually. Thanks for noticing. Pointing out my deficiencies, Roger. Mr. Technology. Not. But he also said his movie popular car would be the Steve McQueen Mustang.
Steve McQueen?
Yeah.
There's some cool ones out there, man.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty cool.
I think I'd want to drive the Back to Future car the most, though, because you're driving it way
then
further.
you can go Back to the Future. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Is the reality of the car or the reality of the movie?
It'd be the movie.
See, so if you went the other way, the reality, of course, I'm going to take the DeLorean. I'm going Back to the Future. I'll even take the train in the worst Back to the Future 4 or whatever, which was
The
when
Wild
they had
West
the
one?
train or 3 or whatever, when they had the train, Doc made it into the train. I'd take the train. That would be kind of way cooler. I got a party train. You got your DeLorean. You can only take one person Back to the Future. I got a train, yo. All
You gotta
aboard.
think
Whoop, whoop. I need a sound
the
effect for trains. Uh-oh. All aboard.
I don't think anybody's getting on with that noise.
That's the new train horn. That's my train horn, yo.
That's your train?
Yeah. I got your DeLorean horn, Dave.
I think that the DeLorean was ahead of its... What does a DeLorean horn sound like? That's what you think it sounds like?
Yeah.
Like it would have to be like a techno beat or something instead of like for me.
Yeah.
I think that they picked a decent car for the timeage. Like if you think about it, what car were they going to use back then? What car would it be? Like they're not going to use a Ferrari. Like what car would have been the car?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Then you could go back enough. You know, you could go in the future and it'd just be like, oh, hey, that guy's got a cool old car. So you could run that thing like up to the 1900s and get away with it. You go back, you know, into the Wild Wild West like they did, and somebody spots a DeLorean, you're busted because nobody had a DeLorean that didn't exist then, right?
You're busted. It's true.
You're totally busted.
It's true.
Then you'd have to go future to the back before the future.
Well, because then who would take credit for inventing the DeLorean? Because somebody's seen it before it was actually ever invented.
Does that mean was the DeLorean ever really invented?
I'm not sure, Barry. It's like the chicken and the egg thing. Right?
Yeah.
What came first? I guess we shouldn't go back in time, Barry, because we could wreck things.
We could wreck things, yes. We would definitely screw things up.
But if you could go to the future and not wreck things, though, right?
But you would. But you'd wreck things in the future of the future.
Not necessarily.
See, the concept of the...
Because when you went back, you could just be like, nah, I didn't want to do that anymore. And then when you get to that point in the future, you could just not do what you did.
Well, that is a conundrum. So the time travel thing is basically saying everything's already done. And you've got to go through this timeline. And you can change things, and that will change the future. But if it was already done and you went back, did it even change? So you'd have to go back to a different past. Just by changing the future, by going back, you would have to go back to a changed past.
Sounds good.
Yeah, no, it sounds confusing. I'm lost.
We just let's just focus on cars.
Yeah, we'll stick with cars. We'll leave it at a DeLorean.
Leave it at that.
Yeah, leave it at that.
Oh, I'm really, again, I keep saying it, I'm excited to see how in the next 10 years what happens in the automotive world. It just feels like every day you're just waiting for something on like Twitter or something on news. They just came out with this, and this is gonna like reinvent the whole way we do things.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's around the corner.
at the number of sales right now, like in California where they're incredibly popular, it's only 4.7%. Across the entire country, it's less than 2% popularity of electric vehicles. And we do have some pretty awesome electric vehicles. You've got your choices too. They are more expensive than the equivalent in car, but there's still a lot of choices, and you're only getting less than 2% of the market. I mean, is that saying that only 2% of the population gives a crap enough to actually put their money out to make a change? I don't know if that's it, but
it's going to be city people, right? Like, because the infrastructure is not there. If you're going out to some rural area, they're not going to have electric cars. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like, so yeah. I mean, it's a smaller market too, because it's a commuter market too, right? It's not necessarily like you don't buy one unless you commute, like, you know. But if you're towing a trailer, you know, like, you got to have a truck, or if you're any kind of
true.
Like,
we've got
so
a question. If my EV car question and concern is the inability for fire departments to deal with an electric car fire. If an EV catches fire, it must be sealed in an airtight container for several days, as it can self-ignite. Who covers that upgrade to cost to the fire department? I don't know. I'd be curious. And that speaks of insurance. I did some research. It can cost up to 45% more to insure your electric car. So if you're considering an electric car, make sure you check on your insurance. And I don't know if that Josh was still listening in there. I know he had to go to the fire hall soon, so he's probably left. But that's a good question for Josh. So, is there anything you've heard at the department about dealing with electric cars and fires and stuff?
I haven't. I'm going to ask. I have a couple of buddies that are both mechanics and on the fire department. And I'm sure they would know. But obviously, there's going to be a different procedure on how do you approach an electric car than you were. I mean, I don't think they wouldn't blow up, but you might need ventilators and masks, because if that battery acid or something is spilling, like. And
the technical answer from Josh, our brother Josh, is for what he understands, they are tricky. Well, I surely hope you don't get a tricky call this evening, Josh.
That's about as technical as they get on the island.
Yeah, they would be tricky. I mean, I've watched a bunch of videos and stuff like that, and I know it's a situation, but again, it's a new thing. Like,
they've had to crash tested those things. Like they would crash on spec. Like, they're designed to crash.
Well, but we've seen they've had stories in the paper of cars that have caught fire and had accidents and stuff. It's not supposed to happen, but it does happen. It has happened. What is Tesla doing? You know, what are the collaboration? If all the electric car companies got together and they came out with a standard in case of emergency, break glass sort of thing, you know, like.
But isn't there an EPA for like an equivalent to an EPA, but as for safety standards in the States and in Canada? There's a government body.
There's CS and DOT and, you know, all that.
Yeah, so I would think would be on the hook for figuring out like how to do that, right?
Yeah, you should probably call them and let them know.
How will they take that, eh?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, there's got to be a governing body. Like, they approve them to be on the road, right? So you pay insurance, and they say, yeah, you can drive that car because we approve that you can drive that car on our highway. So they're the ones that expect, like, they've gone over that car, they've tested that car to see what it does. So they're on the hook for it. Right? They've approved it.
I don't know. There's something. It's going to be that is definitely interesting. I wonder. We'll have to look into that a little bit.
I mean, it would be the same.
Or not talk about electric cars again for another year. But,
next is going to be all about burning fuel.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I love electric cars, yet I drive a big block.
Yeah. Well, you know, but electric cars, they just don't make sense yet. They're not there. And, well, for the credit, you got a hybrid. I mean, that's, you know, you made
I offset it.
You made a mild step that way. I don't know about that. That's offsetting, you know.
Doesn't work like that?
Yeah,
well,
no.
I'm sure at one point.
454, there's no offsetting.
At some point, families are going to be judged by their carbon footprint. It's like your household produces this much, so you'll be taxed this much. Like,
but until government takes on the responsibility of their own carbon footprint and takes on the responsibility of its business's carbon footprint and more, You know what? No. I mean, you watch these politicians. They have a meeting with the G20, 20 countries or whatever, and they have 19 and a half jets taking them places. Like, okay, you guys are dumb. You're just dumb. You know,
Well,
I'm sorry.
I gotta
but-
give it to that Greta Thunberg though. She actually, instead of taking a plane, she flew across, or she didn't fly. She took a sailboat across. So she did it. The politicians don't do it, and they talk about it all the time.
She took a multi-million-dollar
No, it wasn't.
skippered. Yes, it was. It was not. It was not mom and dad's $15,000 scooter.
No,
It
but
was
it
a
was
serious boat.
It wasn't.
it was-
My cousin was the skipper of it, Bear.
Yeah, it's a serious boat. Your cousin, yeah, and what other boats is your cousin on?
Lots of knives boats.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But
this
it
was
wasn't
not
like-
a little. This was not a little dinghy. This was
Yeah.
so okay. You're right, Greta. I don't buy credit, but you know, just
It's
and
a long
Josh.
trip.
Josh says you have to just buy carbon credits, Davey.
Yeah, you think that's how
Yeah.
it be?
Yeah, he
The
says
more
you
money
gotta.
you have, the more you can pollute.
He says you need to go and buy yourself 454 credits.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's about right.
for sure.
Yeah. What year is that truck?
98.
98 quad cab or crew cab, dually, low riding, 454 powered beast.
It's fun.
Pretty awesome. And it's red
That's it.
and getting ready for the Stupid About Cars sticker.
Yep. Yeah, when we were going on the road one day,
Yeah, no
coast
doubt.
to coast,
Coast to coast.
for sure.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to do that trip. Actually, I've never been out to your area of the world, Barry.
Yeah, you start that way, I'll start this way. We'll meet halfway and be like
What do
two
you think
trains passing in the night.
Well,
Hi,
where's that
Davey!
spot
Yeah.
be?
We'll
And I get
find
to your house,
somewhere.
I'm like, Barry, where are you? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm on your coast.
Dave, I'm here. Dave, I'm here. Dave's not here, dude.
Dave's not here. What does that say underneath the hat?
Stupid About Cars.
No, underneath it though. Do you still have the sticker on it?
Oh, on the bottom, yes. If you would like to buy one, here is the barcode you can enter. Yeah,
That's some
maybe
good
I should
sales,
take that
Barry.
one off. Yeah, no doubt. I just got it in. There we go. All fixed. Now I gotta wear it like this.
That's in now.
Oh, there goes your mic again. Yeah. Maybe I'm
Oh,
bumping
that
your
mic.
mic out of. It's all good.
Have to crazy glue her up a bit. We're working the bugs out.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're
We're getting there.
Roundabout kind of way.
For sure.
Well, we'll have to come up with something for the next show in a couple of weeks to.
But we need a
bit of
guest.
fatter
We need-
skedatter on.
We
Yeah.
need a guest, Bear.
Yeah, I'm in. Let me know if you have
I got
anybody
one.
in mind. Yeah, do you?
I can't say his name though.
Oh,
It's gonna be a secret.
okay. Cool.
Surprise.
We'll get set up. So next time we'll have a guest. What are we going to talk about?
Cars.
We're going to have somebody talk about cars.
Mostly.
Oof.
Probably stuff with tires on it.
We'll have to get into remember asking some of our. Josh makes a good point. We should probably look at trying to get Elon Musk.
I would. Yes. He's
let,
Canadian.
him, let him listen to this show and see if he's got any interest.
He's Canadian, right?
Yeah, sure, great.
Isn't he? He's from Canadian. Is it Canadian? He's from Canadian, isn't he?
So we can practice our questions for Elon. You know.
Let's ask him some good ones.
Yeah. So Elon, the Model 3 is a great, very economical car, and the mileage rates per energy kilowatt hour usage compared to the amount of fuel used in one of the space launches. Ready, go.
He did that for research, Barry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
It's,
So you're doing this as, it's all good. That's why I said EV. It's a good sell. It's an easy sell.
they're,
You know?
they're flying people to the moon now. Isn't that Richard Branson?
We're gonna-
guy? Just-
I needed to mention. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off on that one, Dave, because
yeah.
so we have our shirts. It's available in hoodies. There's a couple of different shirts that are on the website. and each one of these shirts is guaranteed to deplete the bad chemicals causing ozone holes by unbelievable amounts. I can't even. The number is. It's got so many zeros. It's
super eco-friendly.
massively huge. So you could be responsible for saving a turtle. A rare turtle. By buying a shirt, a hat from Stupid About
You might
Cars.
save 2 if you buy the shirt and the hat, Barry.
That's true.
2 turtles.
I'm not sure. The 0 times 0 times 2.
And if you
It's
get a
entirely
hoodie,
possible.
you might even save a Ninja Turtle.
And you'll be warm.
Yes. Right from time for the summer. It makes sense.
It is a nice, actually, hoodie. It's a thin hoodie, and I like a thin hoodie, like
I do too.
like a summer hoodie, not a super hot hoodie. You know.
No. And Barry, next show, I'm going to bring a tool.
It will save a baby giraffe. Josh does not like turtles. Will it save a baby giraffe?
What did a
We might
turtle
have
ever
to
do
ban
Josh?
Josh from the show for not liking turtles. Turtles, rah.
Or- We could get, next time we go to Vegas, we could trick him and get a turtle tattoo.
That wouldn't be hard.
Friday night, things happen.
Blackout Friday.
Yes.
Sweet.
All
Right
right,
on.
Barry, maybe we should wrap this up, I guess. Eh?
Wrap this up. So, folks, a couple of weeks there. Every other Tuesday we'll be doing the show. Maybe switch it to Monday or Wednesday or something. But
We'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you posted online. And we'll have a guest apparently on the next
guest.
show. That will be a top secret guest. And Dave, for you, Armadillo.
When you need it, Bear.
Yeah, no doubt.
need
So
it,
yeah,
you
no, I'm looking forward to having a guest, having some chats. Next time, maybe we'll share some of our questions that we ask our guests about, our list of questions, and get some of our view answers and see if we get some weird answers or something. Dream car, favorite car you drive, first car, blah blah blah, all that stuff.
It's like an application sheet to Stupid About Cars. We have to know your information,
Yeah,
your car information.
Yeah. The password is your second car.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, good idea. Cool. Right on,
All right,
folks.
guys.
Thank you very much. And once again, I did forget to get the outro music, but it's all good. We shall say peace, love, kumbaya, and don't forget, folks, stay.
Stupid. I think.
That's the way to end. Peace, guys.
See you later.